Hi Cancer, welcome to your reading. If you're new to the channel, I do timeless readings, which means that whenever you find this video is when you're meant to hear the messages within it. And in case you subscribe, I upload my new videos for Cancers and Capricorns on Thursdays. Also, for those of you guys who are interested, the deck that I'm using today is called the Mystic Mondays Tarot. And as always, if you guys are interested in a personal reading, the link is in the description. But just as a final heads up, sometimes the cards like to flip over in the deck. I do see them, however, I usually only really take the cards that jump out, like these ones have, and this one. But my goal is to get you guys roughly 8 or 9 cards, and then we can get started on your reading. All right, Capricorn. Or sorry, Cancer. Maybe you guys are dealing with some kind of a Capricorn right now. Interesting. More on that later. But I do want to take a moment to remind you guys that if you enjoyed the reading, the best way to let me know is by leaving a like or a comment. But your overall energy here is the Two of Swords, which tells me that you guys are kind of at some sort of standstill. Two of Swords really pops up when we are facing some kind of a decision and we have indecision in our hearts. The symbolism of the Two of Swords is a stalemate, is an impasse. So I feel like right now you guys are very much having to deal with a lot of indecision, and a lot of this I feel is stemming from a lot of the change around you. Because I'm looking at the cards here, and first of all we have the Chariot card here in reverse. Now the Chariot card is usually a really good sign, especially with Cancers, because that's the sign of Cancer. Chariot card represents Cancer, so it's nice to see that you guys are in your energy, but because it's in the reverse, it almost makes me feel like you guys feel like you're foreign, some kind of a foreigner in a strange land. The fact that the Chariot means movement, I feel might also mean that you guys are in a situation where you want to see movement, but you're not exactly seeing it the way that you would like. And even if you get some kind of movement, it's like not to your specifications, right? So it's either not enough or not the way you wanted it, or you get there and then you don't like it, or it feels strange or whatever. And I feel like this energy is part of the reason why you're in this Two of Swords. Two of Swords is confusion, and a lot of that impasse energy that I was talking about earlier, which almost seems kind of contradictory here because we have the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Pentacles. Although the Ace of Pentacles is in reverse, I still see a lot of new beginning energy. The Ace of Cups is a new emotional beginning. So I sense that you guys are going to see a lot of improvement in the emotional sector of your life. And I think that for a lot of you that means love. Typically when we think of aces, typically when we think of cups, we think about the more emotional side of love. And I think that this is a grand opportunity for you guys to really start to capitalize on that. I feel like it's almost like a grand opening. I'm getting like the imagery of somebody cutting the tape at like a hotel grand opening, something along the lines. I feel like that's how you guys feel. You feel like there's a massive event worth celebrating occurring right now because of how amazing things are going to go in your life right now. That's further compounded here with the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords talks about clarity and mental sort of faculties. So combining these two, I think that you're going to have a very stable new beginning here. Which is kind of ironic that I use the word stable, because the card that's more associated with stability here is this Ace of Pentacles. But the fact that it's in reverse almost leads me to believe that you guys might be afraid that there is some kind of issue here with these two cards. like the energy feels right, but at the same time, there's one little thing that's kind of nagging at you, and I feel like that's not very helpful. I do also see that we have the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Cups here, which happen to coincide with the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Cups, right? So I feel like there is some kind of a message moving forward. And it's going to be up to you whether or not you take it or not. I believe it's a message of love, because we have the two Knights that coincide with the two Aces, so I certainly get that it's going to be some kind of proposal, but do be wary that even though this proposal feels logical and it feels emotional in all the right ways, it might not be as stable as you would like it to be. And I feel like certainly you guys have been in the past this Four of Cups energy, and the Four of Cups to me talks about dissatisfaction in relationships, and oftentimes that to me feels like you are really wanting more out of a partner. I feel like you want somebody that can match you and your very high output. So I certainly feel that you're in that position right now where you're trying to find somebody who is able to keep up with you on an emotional level, a spiritual level, a mental level, like all these things. In particular, emotional and mental. I feel like those may have been some issues that you've had in the past. And as a result, you're really trying to work hard on those patterns and try to find people that align with your current goals. And I certainly get that the synergy here with the Knights and the Swords, or rather the Knights and the Aces, is very powerful, and it really serves to multiply the output that you're getting here. I feel like if your goal is to really have this super powerful, all-encompassing relationship, don't settle for less, and don't settle for these two aces when you can have all three. And I feel like that in part is why you have this Two of Swords and this Hermit card. Hermit card talks about going within. It also talks about introspection, and sometimes even, staying at home, not really going out in a physical sense. So I think that a lot of you guys may be kind of shut-ins during this period where you're doing your introspection, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. As long as you take everything healthily and don't shut yourself off from society. But it's also equally as healthy to take your time and really think about what you're trying to accomplish here. And I feel like that's very important because you have this indecision and this confusion, right? So I think that you guys really need to decide on what your goal is and really start to work towards that, because that's going to help dispel a lot of the confusion, a lot of the indecisiveness. And it's going to really help you to take advantage of all this new powerful beginning energy. And I feel like that in turn is also going to help out with this Chariot in reverse. Because the Chariot in reverse, like I was saying earlier, is sort of that lack of movement, which is very much tied to this Two of Swords energy. But I feel like once you have a clear-cut goal in mind, and that's obviously easier said than done. Like, sometimes we have competing interests, and sitting down and really weighing those out and deciding which one you want out of the two. And for some of you, that may very well be partners or people. For some of you, I'm also getting that may be business proposals. But either way, you guys are going to come through on the other side and are going to receive this mental clarity. It's just a matter of really going in deep and getting this introspection here with the Hermit card. The Hermit card may also represent Virgos, so the signs that I see are Cancer and Virgo, if that's relevant to you guys. But lastly, I do want to point out that we have the Ace going into the Two of Swords, and that to me symbolizes progress. So I think that you guys are going to be seeing a lot of that coming up soon. It's just a matter of really going in deep and doing this introspection, which I think that you guys have already been doing. It's just a matter of really, really working out the things that you need to in order to receive this powerful beginning energy and receive it effectively. But that was your reading first time around, Cancer. If you enjoyed, please leave a like or a comment because it's the best way for me to know if these readings resonate with you guys, and also I love to know if they do. But like I said before, I upload my new videos for Cancers on Thursdays, but in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to watch any of my other timeless videos that I have up on the channel. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys next time for your next reading.